Boss Lady Realtor here in Austin, Texas. If you're watching this video, you're probably thinking about moving to Austin, and you've probably been doing some homework and already know how much the city has changed in the last 5 years or so and how it continues to develop. We're gonna dive into all of that here today. I'm gonna tell you what's great about Austin. I'm gonna tell you what's not great about Austin. So I'm ready to dive right in. Before I begin, I just wanna let you know that you can always reach me via Instagram. So if you're thinking of buying or selling a home in the Austin area, reach out. First up, con number one. This has been all over the news and you've probably already heard of this, but it is the high cost of living and the difficulty in finding housing. I feel like most of my clients will go into the market trying to buy a home at around $650 to $750, and they typically end up paying anywhere from $750 to about $900. That's just what the market's doing. These are not numbers to scare you. I want you to have information to see if Austin is actually an option for you or if moving even makes sense for you right now. Con number two, along with high housing prices, we also have some of the highest property taxes in the country. I would say the average property tax rate for a home in Austin is about 2.5%. It can actually be a lot lower depending on the type of neighborhood that you're in, or it could be a lot higher. So let's say you have a home that's market value is $800,000. And let's say the county assessed value for it is $550, which does happen. It sounds low, but you do want the county assessed value to be lower. And let's say your tax rate is 2.5%. Your property taxes on a home that is assessed at $550,000 will be $13,750 per year, which is really high. That's, I mean, honestly, yeah, that's over $1,000 a month just on property taxes alone. Even if you buy the home outright, you'll still have that payment. And unfortunately, that assessed value is bound to go up. There are ways around it. We can talk about that in a different video, but property taxes in Texas are super high. Con number three, we have bad traffic. And yeah, it's not as bad as parts of California or like New York, for instance, but it's pretty bad. We have lots of drivers on the road all at once. And because we do have drivers from all over the country, I think a lot of people just drive very different ways. We also have a very high speed limit. Most of our highways have speed limits of 70 miles per hour, sometimes 75, and I've actually seen highways that have a speed limit of 80. So if the speed limit is 80 and you're going 90, it's not uncommon for somebody to be tailgating you. Con number four, it's hot. It gets hot here. I am not exaggerating. During the summertime, it can get up to about 110 degrees, and sometimes that heat doesn't let up for weeks. There were a couple years where I think we had 30 plus consecutive days of above 100-degree temperatures. It gets so hot in the summer, and if you're in your nicely AC'd home and you go outside, you open the door, the heat just like slaps you in the face. It's like you're opening an oven where you're baking cookies, but there's no cookies. It's just heat and burning, and it doesn't go away. So let's say at the peak of the day, it gets up to 105. At nighttime, it'll drop down to 90. 90 in the shade. Number five. This is a personal beef that I have with Austin, but I feel like Austin art scene is really limited. I feel like Austin would benefit from having more museums and galleries and art shows and more theater and all of that. But I do want to acknowledge the fact that we have a lot of concerts, a lot of music events, and all that kind of stuff. Austin has always been the music capital of the world, but not a lot of art to look at otherwise. Okay, now we're gonna get to the upbeat, happy portion of this video. We're gonna talk about the pros of living in Austin. Before I begin, what are some pros that you can think of that you know about Austin? Maybe some pros that you have experienced while visiting or while living here? Leave a comment. I love to hear from you guys. I wanna know what your positive experiences in Austin have been. Pro number one. Austin is super health conscious. I think Austin is one of the fittest cities in the country. I'm not actually sure where it ranks, but it is very health conscious. We have Whole Foods here, which of course is the organic, healthy living store that everybody knows about. It was founded in Austin. There are tons of walking trails, biking trails, outdoor activities. There's literally something for everyone here, and Austin is very health minded. Pretty much everywhere you go, you'll find people hanging out, wearing their athleisure clothes, getting ready to go work out. This is probably my personal favorite. People in Austin are super friendly. I feel like they're genuinely friendly. They want to say hello. They want to see what's up. They don't have an agenda in mind. And because people come from other parts of the country, I think everyone just wants to be friends. So it's totally normal to like talk to somebody in line at the grocery store, or if you're going for a walk and you make eye contact with somebody else, it's normal to be like, hey, how's it going? I know neighbors say hi to each other across the street. Sometimes I'm driving through neighborhoods when I'm going to meet clients and there's somebody out walking. This happens all the time. I'll be in my car and somebody that lives in the neighborhood just starts waving and I'm like, oh, hi. I don't know them, but they're friendly and they're welcoming and I love that. Pro number 3, we have a ton of activities in Austin. I feel like all the time, every day. Of course, I can't list all of them, but I will tell you a bunch that I know about that are wonderful. So number 1, we have lots of hiking, lots of biking trails. We have lots of places where you can go for walks. Austin also has Lake Travis, so we have plenty of water activities. You can go kayaking, canoeing, you can get like water bikes, you can rent boats. We also have tons of concerts all the time, or even if there's not a concert, we will have live music. One of my personal favorite things to do is go walking around the Domain. I like the Domain so much because it is clean, it is healthy, there's tons of people there. It gets super crowded, so that's kind of annoying. But other than that, it's a really good experience. It's excellent people watching. I'm not a huge shopper, so I'm not there buying a bunch of stuff, but I love to go there, go for walks, see what people are up to, clear my head and get some fresh air. Those are just some of the things, of course, that you could do in Austin. There's a ton more. Tell me like what kind of stuff you guys like doing in Austin. I really like to hear kind of what your lifestyles are like and what's important to you and what do you enjoy doing here. Leave a comment. Pro number 4, Austin is overall a really good size. I personally like that it is big enough to have variety. North Austin and South Austin are very different. Yeah, it can take half an hour, sometimes 40 minutes to get from one end to another. Depending on traffic, it could take even more. I like also that it has a big city feel, but it's kind of a small town in the sense that you can get pretty much everywhere in 20, 30 minutes if you're not, if you're not too far out. The fact that people are friendly and that the place isn't overwhelmingly large, like Dallas, for instance, makes for really good quality of life overall. Point number 5, and this is a big pro for so many people. Austin is a huge foodie town. We have tons of cute little food trailers that are individually owned by people from all over the world. Also, Austin is really into very fresh food, like farm to market stuff. So that's a big positive that people really love about Austin. I know there's a lot of like foodie places I didn't mention. What are some of your top restaurants or dining experiences that you've had in Austin that you really enjoy? I'm really curious and I need to know so that I could start going out and trying these places and spicing things up. Let me know, leave a comment. I really want to hear from you. So that's everything I got. Those are my pros and cons about living in Austin in 2022. I said this multiple times throughout this video, but I really do want to hear from you. What has been your favorite part of either visiting Austin or living in Austin? I'm curious to see what your experience has been, so leave a comment. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I am Daphne Quay, your boss lady realtor. Till next time.